Okay, so my iPod's about to die, so I have to make this video a little quickly. This is me reviewing all my found footage films. This is sort of like what Kim Jong-un did, but since he doesn't have these anymore, and some of the movies he has, he doesn't. So, yes, here we go. Here we go. The first movie is Behind the Mask, The Rise of Leslie Vernon. This movie, pretty strange. I didn't really understand it. I thought it was going to be creepier, but I found out it was just like a found footage documentary type film. But then, like, the parts in the library where it shows him running around and him shooting at him. And then the final, 5 to 7 minutes is, just a regular movie. It's just the movie didn't make sense. The guy was too witty and everything. The movie didn't make sense. But, I totally recommend it. And on a scale, if I had to rate it, I'd rate it, 4 stars, I guess. The Blair Witch Project. Now, this is a good movie. This is a really good movie, actually. It's a really scary movie. I'm not really going to explain it because I'm sure you guys all know the story, and if you don't, look it up on Google because I don't really have time to explain it at all. This is one of the first found footage movies I ever watched. I saw it on TV, and I actually do own it on VHS as well. And while I'm talking about Blair Witch, I also have Blair Witch Book of Shadows Blair Witch 2, which is one of my all-time favorite movies because I think it's all twisted and it's awesome. Now, since I have to do this really, really quickly, I would rate Blair Witch Project 5 stars. Book of Shadows, I would rate, I guess you could say 6.5 stars. 6.5 stars. Cloverfield, not really much to say. I'd just say it's like a typical monster movie, except it's found footage. It's one of the movies I've seen a lot of times. I've seen 2-3 times. It's not one of my favorites, but it's still, it's a rip-off of other monster movies, but it's still pretty good. So yes, I recommend it. 3.5 stars. Now this movie here, Diary of the Dead, this is one of my all-time favorite found footage films. Diary of the Dead. I think this movie was done really well. I love Diary of the Dead. I highly recommend it for fans of found footage and the Night of the Living Dead series. Now, I do own Survival of the Dead, but I don't have time to show it right now. Survival of the Dead says it picks up right where Diary of the Dead leaves off. Now, I haven't watched it yet, so I'm not really sure what that means, but I highly doubt, and I know it's not found footage, but I highly doubt any of the characters from Diary of the Dead are in it, so I have no idea how that would be possible. I highly recommend this for fans of found footage and George A. Romero. It would be, let me see here, I'd say 7 stars. That's how much I like it, it's 7 stars. Home movie. This was a very twisted movie. It was very strange. I did not understand it at all. I don't know, it was just very, very strange. I don't know, it was just very strange. If you like movies about twisted kids, and if you like movies about like killer, I guess murderous killer kids, I suggest you watch Home Movie, but you have to be patient, because if you're in for those fast-paced movies, then this isn't the movie for you. I'd rate it 4 stars. Now, another one of my favorites, The Last Exorcism. I like this movie better than most found footage films because it does really well. And I'm glad that they're doing Last Exorcism Part 2. I'm just disappointed that Part 2 is not going to be found footage. But if you're looking for some for a creepy movie, I highly recommend The Last Exorcism. And if you're just looking for just any exorcism movie besides like the pretty bad Annalise Exorcist tapes, or Chronicles of an Exorcism, whatever. Last Exorcism, check it out. 10 stars. Meadowwoods, I have not completely watched this yet, but I've like skimmed through it and watched the end. From what I saw from the ending, it was pretty twisted. They are trying to choose a friend in their group who they want to kill. But, and then record everything they do, like record them putting them in the ground and leaving them to die. It's just, I don't know if I can bring myself to watch it yet. From the ending I saw, I'd recommend it if you want really one of those twisted, very, very shocking movies, like Zero Day and stuff like that. I highly recommend this. From what I saw, it would be, for now, 5 stars just for the twistedness. My Little Eye. I can't talk much about this because I have not seen it, but from what I've heard about it, I know it's mostly security cameras, not really any handheld cameras, just security cameras, and it's supposed to be a group of people in a house, and people are spying on them. It's supposed to be creepy, but until I watch My Little Eye, I can't really say much about it. Now, unfortunately, all I own for the Paranormal Activity series is Paranormal Activity 1 and 3 right now. So that's what I'm going to talk about. And I'll try and do a better review of this movie in my next video. So Paranormal Activity and Paranormal Activity 3. Paranormal Activity Part 1, one of my favorite movies. It's, I know, I've memorized this movie so well that I know where all the jump scares are and everything. And yet, every time I watch it, it still creeps me out. I mean, just like that too. Paranormal Activity 3 was okay. I think the ending where they snapped the guy's back was pretty cool, but the zombies at the end, like the weird people in the doorway at the end, just like at the end of Paranormal Activity 4, just did not make any sense. Paranormal Activity 3 doesn't make any... I mean, it was an okay movie, but I don't know. 10 stars, 5.5. Now, Paranormal Entity. Well, this is the version I have. One of the best Paranormal Activity copycats out there, or so far that I've seen. It's one of my all-time favorite movies. 10-star movie for me. If you're a fan of Paranormal Activity or just any movies like Paranormal Activity or anything scary, if you want something really scary, please check out Paranormal Activity. It's got a lot of jump scares in it, just like Paranormal Activity. But it's an awesome, awesome movie. And I just love this movie. Now, Quarantine I just got recently. Quarantine, is like the English version of Rec. But, I don't know why, but I just think that Rec is a little bit better. Rec 2 is okay. I have not seen Rec 3 Genesis yet, and I don't plan to for a while, because the first only 9 minutes of the film is found footage, so... But Quarantine is a really good zombie film, using rabies as an excuse for the virus. But Quarantine is a pretty interesting zombie movie, like how they did it. And then you actually get to see the monster right there, like... And then Quarantine 2, the Terminal... I do not... That's just a poor excuse for a sequel. Because it's not even found footage, and I'm pretty sure it's none of the original characters from the first movie. And finally, it took me forever to find this movie. I found the St. Francisville Experiment original DVD. Now, I didn't really understand how it was a Blair Witch copycat. I thought the end was pretty creepy. It just felt like a ripoff of like the Ghost Hunters type shows. It was pretty creepy, but I watched it with the lights off and everything, and it didn't really creep me out until like the last 5-10 minutes. But I highly recommend this film because it's like one of the oldest ones. It's one of the oldest film footage movies. Yeah, I give it 8 stars. So, yeah. And that's it for now. In my next video, I will review Ginger Snaps 2 Unleashed. And I have I have 2 copies. I have Ginger Snaps Back, the beginning, and Ginger Snaps the beginning. I have 2 different covers of it. So I will review those in my next video. And give a better review and try to explain my rating and why and everything about the good and the bad of this movie in my next video. Please send me your requests, alright? See you guys.